Welcome to the Fox 54 Week in Review. I'm Emily Owen. It's the only place in North Alabama to get the week's local headlines condensed into one program. Here's a taste of what's ahead. Our top story this week, a domestic violence call in Scottsboro led to a chase and the shooting of a Scottsboro police officer. The story has played out over the last week with Lieutenant Derek Porch still recovering from his injuries. Here's what happened.
The suspect ran behind Taco Bell with a rifle. W72, County Park Road, 72, County. 10-4, go ahead and notify J1 and J2. All units be advised, reading the tab, subject just ran behind the Taco Bell with a rifle.
What you just heard is police scanner audio from the arrest of the man accused of shooting a police officer early Saturday morning. It's where we begin. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gabe Glassman. A multi-agency manhunt lasting nearly 24 hours finally came to an end after police arrested Daniel Victor McCarn late last night. But this all started in the very early hours of Saturday morning. It all began at 12:49 a.m. Saturday when Scottsboro police responded to a domestic incident on Ruth Street. When they arrived, the suspect drove off, prompting a pursuit that ended in a crash at the intersection of U.S. Highway 72 and County Park Road. After the crash, the suspect got out of his car and opened fire, hitting one police officer. The gunman then ran away. Later that day, the suspect was identified as 29-year-old Daniel McCarn of Huntsville. A multi-agency manhunt began with the assistance of Huntsville Police Department, ALEA, and other local departments. Just after noon, an ALEA Blue Alert was issued with a physical description of McCarn. Around 2:40 in the afternoon, ALEA released new details describing what McCarn was wearing, noting that he was barefoot and walks with a limp. Around 10 o'clock last night, Scottsboro police announced McCarn's capture. A spokesperson for the police department told FOX54 that a tip from an area business owner led to his arrest. Officers say they used a heat-tracking drone to locate McCarn on a patch of land behind a business along the railroad tracks.
Thanks to a local resident and a local business owner in that area, they were able to observe him just after we had spoken earlier on a camera at a business. So we had a last known location. We were able to put our drone up into the air. Utilizing the FLIR technology that I had spoken about earlier, we were able to locate Mr. McCarn adjacent to some railroad tracks just behind a business in the 2000 block of Old Larkinsville Road. We utilized the drone to put it over Mr. McCarn, sent a team of people in there to locate what we thought was Mr. McCarn, and a team of about 6 to 8 officers went in there, located him adjacent to the railroad tracks, and was able to take him into custody without incident.
McCarn was processed late last night at the Jackson County Jail. He's charged with attempted murder. He now awaits his first court appearance. The officer he shot sustained non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to recover.
A Scottsboro police officer now recovering after he was shot early Saturday morning. The man responsible leading police on a 21-hour manhunt over the weekend. It started around 1 a.m. Saturday when Scottsboro police responded to a domestic incident on Ruth Street. The suspect, 29-year-old Daniel McCarn, left the scene and a pursuit began, ending in a crash at the intersection of U.S. Highway 72 and County Park Road. McCarn reportedly started firing at the police officers. One of those bullets struck Lieutenant Derek Porch in his left hand. He remains in Huntsville Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And tonight, we learn new details about Lieutenant Porch. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman sat down with the Scottsboro police chief, who tells us about the shooting and search for McCarn from his perspective.
We're learning new details about the officer-involved shooting, which happened in Scottsboro on Saturday. Police Chief Greg Godfrey says he's never experienced anything like this in his multiple decades with police force.
When you get a phone call as a chief of police at 1 o'clock in the morning that one of your officers has been shot, it kind of puts you in a little bit of a shock.
Police Chief Greg Godfrey has been leading SPD for nearly 4 months, but he's been working for the department for more than 30 years. Lieutenant Derek Porch has been with Scottsboro PD for much of Godfrey's time, 29 years.
We've had a good relationship. We've worked together throughout the years. We both went up through the ranks. He loves patrol, and that's where he'll retire at, as probably lieutenant of patrol. He loves being on patrol.
Porch remains in Huntsville Hospital tonight, where Godfrey says he's undergoing treatment, trying to save his hand.
He's probably going to have a lot of problems. We're lucky that Derek is alive today.
Following the shooting in the early Saturday morning hours, a manhunt began for Daniel McCarn. He was taken into custody late Saturday night. You can see his capture in this thermal drone video. This technology is incredibly new to SPD, purchased by the department just 3 months ago.
I was on the scene when we caught him. The minute we got a citizen call and say, I've got video of him on my property, I directed everybody from the command post to that location. We had him spotted laying on the railroad tracks. Me and a team went in, found him laying on the tracks.
Godfrey says the end goal was always having McCarn in custody.
I didn't know if he was going to be dead or alive, but he was going to be captured.
The court issued McCarn a $10 million bond as he faces a charge of attempted murder.
I was tickled to death. I was excited over that. I've never seen a $10 million bond. That just tells me he's not getting out of jail. And I hope that's where he stays the rest of his life, trying to kill one of my officers.
Chief Godfrey is asking the community to pray for Lieutenant Porch for a speedy recovery. In Scottsboro, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
The Alabama State Bureau of Investigation continues to investigate the shooting. Fox 54 will be providing more details about that investigation once they're made available. There's an alert system in place that many people haven't heard of, but it's designed to kick in during some of law enforcement's most dangerous moments, like the one we just described. It's called the Blue Alert, and it helps spread the word when a suspect accused of harming an officer is still on the run. It works a lot like Amber or Silver Alerts, but in these cases, the goal is to help find those responsible for violent attacks on law enforcement officers. Fox 54's Ken McCoy has more on how the Blue Alert system works and why awareness could save lives.
When an officer is attacked in the line of duty and the suspect is still out there, every second matters. The Blue Alert system was created to get critical information out fast and bring the public in to help.
There's a Silver Alert, which is for missing, endangered, elderly persons, like maybe somebody with that's in risk with dementia. A Blue Alert is essentially the same thing. It works in the same fashion.
To issue a Blue Alert, law enforcement must meet a few key requirements. An officer has to be seriously hurt or killed, the suspect must be considered a danger to the public, and there has to be enough information like a vehicle or suspect description to make the alert useful.
The reason that we put those out is for a warning to the public to let them know that, hey, a serious attack has happened and there's somebody on the loose. You may need to take shelter in the area, similar to what happened in Scottsboro recently.
Once approved, the alert is sent out through broadcast station, highway signs, and cell phones, much like Amber or Silver Alerts. Some states have used it multiple times, others have never activated the system at all.
Some areas may use it more than others. We've never had to use it here at Madison Police Department. Hopefully, hopefully we wouldn't. I can't remember a time, not to say they haven't used it, but I can't remember a time that Madison County or City of Huntsville has had to use it.
And officers say it's not just about finding a suspect, it's also about keeping communities safe while they do.
Offender may try to seek refuge in somebody's home or may try to jump into somebody's car. Anybody who's the subject of a large manhunt, I guess, may try to take whatever steps necessary. So we just want to make the public aware of that.
Madison police say the Blue Alert system is relatively new compared to other alert systems, but for law enforcement, it's just another tool to bring violent offenders to justice and keep the public informed. Here in Madison, Kim McCoy, Fox 54 News.
The Department of Justice also released a statement to Fox 54 of the alert system, saying in part, quote, the protection and support of law enforcement is a top priority for the COPS office, the Department of Justice, and this administration. Early notification aids in protecting the lives of the men and women who bravely serve in law enforcement while also helping to apprehend those who would harm law enforcement and endanger our communities, end quote. Fox 54 News broke the new information related to Daniel McCarn this morning. He's the suspect in the shooting of Lieutenant Derek Porch, a career law enforcement officer who's recovering from a gunshot wound to the hand. According to records filed Wednesday and received by Fox 54, a grand jury will receive McCarn's case on September 8th. It will be that panel that determines if there's enough evidence to proceed with the attempted murder case against McCarn. In a grand jury hearing, prosecutors present part of their case. The defendant isn't present and defense lawyers don't get to address the grand jury. Before that, however, McCarn is scheduled to appear in district court on August 20th at 1:30 p.m. The court records also confirm bond was set at $10 million, an amount FOX54 previously reported. McCarn was arrested with the assistance of heat-detecting drone technology. He was found late Saturday along a stretch of railroad tracks after spending nearly the full day eluding capture. It started as an early morning domestic violence call to this house on Ruth Street. But when Scottsboro police were working that matter, McCarn took off. The vehicle he was in crashed near the intersection of U.S. Highway 72 and County Park Road.
If we have any more units available, we need them to set a perimeter. We believe he's in the woods by Taco Bell somewhere.
That's where McCarn allegedly opened fire on pursuing officers, striking Lieutenant Porch, a 29-year veteran. A callous act during a time of crisis. And tonight we've learned that a Scottsboro man is behind bars for allegedly leading police down a bogus trail during Saturday's manhunt for the person who shot at an officer. The would-be tip came as police were searching for Daniel McCarn, wanted in the shooting of Lieutenant Derek Porch. During that manhunt, someone at a local business contacted police about an employment application they received in McCarn's name. Investigators have determined the application was fraudulent and designed to divert resources from the search. Police traced the false application to 36-year-old Daniel Hennon of Scottsboro. He reportedly admitted to submitting the fake information and was booked today on swatting charges under Alabama's revised 2024 criminal code. Hennon is held at the Jackson County Jail, and Scottsboro police say they take these matters seriously, especially when they interfere with critical law enforcement operations.
And big updates in the case of Ronald Dumas Jr., missing from Huntsville since December. One of the suspects in his kidnapping was in court on Friday, and some shocking details of the case emerged.
A lot to this case, a lot of players involved, and just the amount of work that the investigation has been so far, it makes it much different than a lot of other cases.
Nearly 8 months since he disappeared, the case surrounding a Huntsville realtor finds its way to a local court, and what transpired today casts a whole new light on what happened that December night. Welcome to Fox 54 at 5:30. I'm Emily Owen. Kiara Clark is one of several suspects in the abduction of Ronald Dumas Jr., and 2 days after her extradition from Memphis, she made her first court appearance here. Fox 54 was in the courtroom as prosecutors provided all sorts of new information. Here you can see Clark arriving at the Madison County Courthouse for her Anais Law hearing. Clark was taken to the Madison County Jail on Wednesday from Memphis, where she's been held since her arrest in April. The family of Ronald Dumas Jr. was at the courthouse as well for what would be an extraordinary morning.
Today was extremely difficult, and I'm devastated and I'm shocked with some of the details that we found out during the hearing today.
Recovered text messages have helped provide clarity regarding what took place the night of December 15th. Prosecutors say Ronald Dumas Jr. was solicited by two women, Kalisha McKinney and Sabrina Chambers. The interaction took place at Mid-City Liquor, where the women allegedly offered sexual services to Dumas. It was then that investigators believe Dumas was abducted and taken to the Memphis area where his car was found. His cell phone turned up at Chambers' home in Memphis this past January. Police have been looking for Chambers ever since, but she has yet to be found. McKinney was found dead from an apparent drug overdose earlier this year. Prosecutors believe Kiara Clark was instructed by Quintarius White, who she was in a relationship with, to force Dumas to give them money. Disturbing details from prosecutors included a recounting of instructions to, quote, pull his teeth out with pliers. But while the investigation has added pieces to the puzzle, still no evidence pointing to where Dumas may be. Madison County Chief Assistant District Attorney Tim Gann hopes that the transfer of White from a Memphis jail to Madison County, expected shortly, will offer even more answers.
She was locked up in Memphis, and now we have her here, so now we can move forward with our case against her, and hopefully the rest of the people involved in this case will be in Madison County soon, so we can move forward on them. But we have her, so we're going to move forward with our case.
And the mother of one of Dumas' children hoped today's hearing gets Clark to be more forthcoming.
Hopefully now she'll be more willing to talk. It's been a long time. It's been over 200 days. This has gone on for long enough. Our children have suffered for long enough. Our family has suffered long enough. We need answers now.
The reward for information that could lead to the location of Ronald Dumas Jr. has been increased to $7,500. As for the outcome of today's hearing, Judge Alan Mann ruled that Clark would be denied bond while the case is ongoing and remain behind bars. In a statement, the Dumas family thanked the district attorney's office and Judge Mann for the decision. It's that time again. Tennessee Valley students are heading back to school. We talked to superintendents from 4 local districts about some of the things kids and families can expect this year. Huntsville City Schools is getting ready for the school year, and today Fox 54 spoke with School System Superintendent Dr. Clarence Sutton. One of the topics brought up to Dr. Sutton was about preventing any more weapon incidents at schools this upcoming school year. Dr. Sutton told Fox 54 that while no new policies have been put in place, the school system will be looking to be more vigilant.
We're just really focused on it. We talk with our teachers. We have intercom systems in our schools where they can communicate with the office and vice versa. We have a camera system in all of our schools, so we constantly monitor what's going on. So we're really comfortable with the resources we have right here in the Huntsville City Schools. We're just really going to stay vigilant. We're going to stay aware, and we're going to continue to communicate.
And while chatting with Dr. Sutton, he also added that there is still a large group of parents who need to register their children for the school year before Monday arrives.
We are asking all parents to continue to register before the first day so we don't have delays, so we can start instruction the first day of school. So right now we're training about 2,200 parents who still need to register. We're doing it as of today. Contact your school, contact the central office, because as soon as we can get that process completed, the sooner we can start teaching our students.
Dr. Sutton also touched on the FOCUS Act, stating that it will not impact the district's already implemented policy of cell phone usage during class time.
The school year kicks off in less than 5 days for Madison City Schools, and before the first day of school, Superintendent Ed Nichols spoke to Fox 54 about the upcoming school year. The district will see some vacancies in assistant principal roles, but they say that doesn't mean support won't be there for head principals. Superintendent Nichols explained how the district is helping out while filling those roles.
We've asked some of our retired administrators to come back and fill in, and they said they would do that. So we're going to have people in place to help. Their experience, they've had a long career being an administrator, and some of them are principals, some of them assistant principals, and they're going to come back in and kind of fill those positions to help our new principals as we start the school year.
While chatting about the upcoming school year, Nichols discussed the impacts of state-mandated cell phone bans in schools and how parents should prepare.
We had a policy last year where students couldn't have their cell phones on during class time, but they could use them in between class or at lunch. But the law specifically states that's not an option. So we're trying to educate our parents. We're sending out information this week from each of the schools about how they'll handle that. It is a Class 2 violation of the Code of Conduct. We plan to start school with a few weeks of grace.
Nichols says he hopes both students and parents understand the rules and that students will be able to use their cell phones during emergencies. The Madison County school system making preparations for the upcoming school year, now just 10 days away. They've been working on hiring new staff, adding to their existing buildings, and starting new construction. Today, they're highlighting the latest additions to the school system. Some of those changes have to do with projects worth around $120 million. The other changes pertaining to student safety. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to hear from Superintendent Ken Kubik.
The Madison County school system is getting ready for yet another academic year. I sat down with Superintendent Ken Kubrick just inside, where we talked about hundreds of millions of dollars going toward new facilities, what the upcoming school year might look like, and student safety. In fact, he tells me that safety is a #1 priority for the school system. They'll be implementing new airlocks and metal detectors, making it easier to get medical treatment and bringing in new school resource officers.
Kubrick says you just can't know when something is going to go wrong. That's why the new student safety measures reach from high schools all the way down to elementary schools.
To me, there's always a need. Whatever steps that you can take to make a child safe is important. You want to plan for these things and hope that they never become, never are put in use. Those are things that, I think keep you up at night. I'm always worried about the safety of kids. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with kids, you never know. You got kids that are constantly new drivers that are coming onto the campus. You got more and more people on the roads.
And security concerns are always at the forefront of that conversation. Some of those safety measures include new airlocks and metal detectors, even in K-8 schools. In addition, they'll be placing 28 school resource officers across the district as part of an agreement with the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Brent Patterson with the Sheriff's Office said in a statement to FOX54, "We have also worked closely with school administrators to implement proactive safety measures and updated emergency protocols designed to respond swiftly and effectively in any crisis situation." He added, "These efforts include advanced active threat response training and increased campus visibility from our deputies." And Sheriff Kevin Turner said in the same statement, "The safety of our children is not just a priority, it's a responsibility we take seriously every single day."
Our goal is to have SROs in all of our campuses. We have them, but there are some on limited basis. We want to convert those to full-time SROs, and that's what we're doing. We're moving some of those more to the full-time positions and increasing that. But it's just not the SROs.
They're also implementing a new gel, trauma gel, which acts like a glue binding for major cuts and gashes. According to Kubrick, they're the first district in the country to have it in their schools. They'll be training school nurses on how to apply the gel ahead of the school year this coming Tuesday. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, FOX54 News.
Kubrick says these changes were spurred by Madison County's growth throughout all of its schools. They're moving west to east with the biggest projects in implementing the new school resource officers at the start of the school year. Moving over to a new school next month. The school just had the opening today with parents and the community excited about what opportunities are available to the city of Decatur's up-and-coming students. The Best Pre-K Academy cut the ribbon and opened its doors to the sprawling new campus today, and their acronym, Building Exceptional Students for Tomorrow. FOX54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to Decatur to show us how they plan on living out that motto.
The Best Pre-K Academy is opening its doors today, bringing with it new educational opportunities to the city of Decatur. It's going to take all 21 of the city's existing pre-K classrooms, which are currently spread throughout the elementary schools, and put them all under one roof. Superintendent Michael Douglas says that's going to consolidate the pre-K program, helping teachers to work in one building and students to get a uniform education.
That education is the most important part. Douglas says at this age, any new information is critical.
While those kids' brains are in development, the more you can expose them to at a young age, they're just sponges at this age.
That's why disadvantages of any kind can set kids behind years in grade school.
Where we get into difficult times is when kids start grade levels behind, and a lot of times that's due to poverty or due to circumstance or don't have access to books in the home. So the quicker you can get a kid immersed into reading and books and numbers, the better off they're going to be. And we feel like we're going to address a need, particularly with our impoverished population that may not have access to as many books as possible, by getting them in this pre-K early. And we're going to set a lot of kids up for success.
Principal Jennifer Edwards says this new school is going to level the playing field for students, giving them the same opportunities to read, write, and play while they're still soaking it in.
We're one school with one focus, and all students will be loved the same. They will be cared for the same. I want high expectations for the faculty and staff and our students and our parents, and so we're all one. You know, we're separated for logistical reasons, and that's it. But further as being one school, one focus, that's my aim, that's my goal.
With that aim in mind, the school opens up for class next week. In Decatur, I'm Caleb Aguayo, FOX54 News.
Next, we've got updates on some Huntsville stories we've been following for you. AI cameras on garbage trucks, a new greenway that will stretch into North Huntsville, the hand-free ordinance 1 year later, and the future of Space Command HQ.
The city of Huntsville is looking to add new AI technology to help spot code violations in the city. City leaders, however, are hitting the pause button on the move, pushing the discussion to later this year. It's after residents and council members raised concerns about data storage, privacy, and expenses.
Constant video recording in residential areas is invasive.
I believe AI cameras mounted on trash trucks is a violation of people's privacy. This is surveillance. This is Big Brother.
Is there a way that something like this could be done, but still address the privacy issues?
The concerns raised by multiple residents and council members largely stem from privacy concerns.
Privacy is incredibly important to us.
So I sat down with the CEO of City Detect, the company Huntsville is looking to partner with to bring their AI tech to the Rocket City. A total of 25 cameras will be mounted on Huntsville's garbage trucks looking for code violations.
Whenever you're training computer vision models or this type of technology, you're basically saying, hey, look, computer models, we are going to feed you millions of images that we know are of graffiti or that we know are of illegal dumping. And over time, when it's getting more and more data and it's gathering all of it, it's building the model to be able to detect and identify what those different problems are.
When the camera sees something, it sends a message to the city, who would then send someone to verify the potential issues themselves. The tech takes pictures of people's homes as they go along the route, but Gavin says the data is secured in the United States.
The only people who can access the data are actually within the municipality itself. The data doesn't get sold. We don't send it anywhere else. It all lies within the United States. We're not looking for, there's no facial recognition. It's not looking for people. It's not doing any surveillance. It's really just looking for these things that kind of drag down community values.
While privacy remains a concern for many, others are also concerned about the cost.
We need to be able to account for this in a budget.
The City Council has pushed this discussion to their September 25th meeting, pending approval in the city's 2026 budget plans. And speaking of those concerns surrounding the budget, these cameras don't come cheap. City documents show in the contract agreements this would bring a nearly $340,000 price tag each year.
It's been a year since the city of Huntsville implemented a hands-free ordinance, which has drivers keeping their eyes off their phones and on the road while driving. The law prohibits drivers from holding a handheld device like a cell phone. In the last year, Huntsville Police Department has issued nearly 200 citations and 112 written warnings related to the law. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman explains why the hands-free ordinance is necessary in the Rocket City.
City leaders say the goal of the hands-free ordinance isn't just limited to enforcement, but to potentially save lives.
The more discussion surrounding this ordinance, the more it will make our streets safer.
Huntsville's District 2 City Council member David Little has become an advocate against distracted driving after a personal tragedy hit close to home.
Several years ago, my family was involved in a car crash caused by a distracted driver. It was a crash that was 100% preventable. And the pain and hardship that created, not only for me, but really for my family, is not something I would want anyone to go through.
HPD says the ordinance has shown signs of progress in the city, but there's still a long road ahead.
Distracted driving remains to be one of the leading causes of crash across this country. It's not just a bad habit, but it's a dangerous one that can have devastating, even fatal consequences. Holding a phone, even for just a few seconds, can be the difference between life and death.
We know from many years of data in other states that have this same hands-free law that it does make a difference.
Alabama AAA spokesperson Clay Ingram says data shows the number of car crashes goes down when people don't have one hand on the wheel and the other one on their phone.
You wouldn't want to drive with your hands behind your back and a blindfold on, so you can imagine you kind of fall somewhere in between those two if you're talking on the phone. So keeping your mind and your eyes on the road and your hands on the steering wheel is a big part of being a safe driver on the highway, and not just for you and the people in your vehicle, but for other motorists around you as well.
No one wants a knock on the door only to see one of our officers or a state trooper or a sheriff's deputy standing there to tell you that a loved one has been killed in a crash that is preventable.
Ingram recommends for those who have to use their phone in the car to pull over and park in a safe area. In Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
You can be fined $50 for your first offense, $100 for your second offense within 2 years, and $150 or community service if you're cited 3 times within 2 years. Back here in Huntsville, city officials are giving residents a chance to voice their opinion on Huntsville's Greenway expansion. The project would connect downtown to Alabama A&M University, which is placed in District 1 of Huntsville. The town hall at Union Chapel Missionary Baptist Church earlier this evening. The event gives a chance for people to voice their opinions and at the same time gives officials a chance to hear what they have to say.
I'm happy for anything else that comes to the area because you know, it's been kind of barren for a very long time, but I just wanted to be aware of what all is going to be happening in the area where I work.
We just want to get feedback from the constituents, get some buy-in, and let them do some recommendations and get their thoughts.
This is, we think, a really important project to connect neighborhoods on the northern edge of Huntsville into that broader Greenway network.
And this was the second town hall which residents had the chance to. Alabama's congressional delegation more certain than ever that America's Space Command headquarters is headed to the Rocket City. The message, part of an update from Representative Dale Strong today at a paid admission event hosted by the Huntsville-Madison Chamber. More than 1,000 people attended, and Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo spoke with the congressman afterward to get the latest on the high-profile battle for U.S. Spacecom and the jobs that come with it.
U.S. Representative Dale Strong made a visit to the Rocket City today to give an update on what's been going on lately in our nation's capital. He says his biggest plans now include downsizing the federal government, increasing national security, and bringing more money back into North Alabama's aerospace industry. But Strong says he's pushing the hardest to bring Space Command to Redstone Arsenal.
Our people and our workforce speaks for itself, but I'll promise you we will not relent until that announcement is made, and I feel comfortable that it will be made for Huntsville.
In fact, Strong says he's sure Space Command is coming here over Colorado.
I'm going to say I'm 100% sure it's coming to Redstone. The president has made promises related to doing what's right for national security. Every evaluation points to Redstone Arsenal. We have no time to waste. It's time to go vertical, and I feel that a decision is imminent.
Strong also mentioned the work he's been doing to pass Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. He says that bill will bring money, jobs, and small businesses to North Alabama. In addition, $25 billion in funding for the Golden Dome Defense Project will also have a direct impact on research at Redstone Arsenal. Chip Cherry with the Huntsville-Madison County Chamber says Strong's work is critical for keeping North Alabama on the map.
Congressman Strong has been a wonderful add to the team in that he understands the issues that are important to North Alabama, and has been working very hard on those issues, and has been a great advocate for us. And it really just adds to the overall Alabama delegation that's been pulling for us for a very long time.
Cherry also says Strong's advocacy in the House of Representatives helps local people, businesses, and government agencies housed here in North Alabama. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
During his chat with the chamber, Strong noted some of the work he's been doing here and in D.C. That includes meeting with constituents, working alongside Congress, and meeting with President Trump.
Let's wrap up this week by celebrating a local hero. Alabama Task Force 3, which includes local first responders, spent 2 weeks in Texas helping flood recovery efforts. We spoke to one Decatur firefighter who was there about his experience.
Several North Alabama firefighters celebrating a homecoming today after spending 2 weeks in the Lone Star State. Alabama's Task Force 3 got back home this weekend after assisting with recovery efforts from the devastating floods in Texas. They were responsible for searching 12 miles of river in Kerr County. They also helped search for missing girls at Camp Mystic, the Christian summer camp where hundreds of children were swept away in the floods. Most of Task Force 3's job was recovering the dead and missing people in Kerr County. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo introduces us to one of those hometown heroes.
The Alabama Task Force, sent to Texas earlier this month, made it back home this weekend. They originally went to bring relief to flood rescue teams already in Kerr County, Texas.
The team was made up of firefighters and rescue experts from across the state.
They were tasked with a lot of course, walking and searching, rescuing, going through debris, things like that.
Their goal, to bring swiftwater recovery specialists to the forefront of the rescue operation.
We would boat into different areas. We had like a 12-mile segment of the river
that we were assigned, and we were just doing grid searches by land on each side of the river. We'd come up and we'd find debris piles, and if we could clear them by hand, we would do that, and if not, we would have K9 teams that would come behind us.
They also conducted specialized operations like canine searches, extrication, and medical stabilization. They left in mid-July for a 2-week stint, working 12-hour shifts to help get people, pets, and belongings out of the flood waters.
They put in a lot of long hours every day and doing something that was nasty, dirty, dangerous. I feel like they probably feel like some type of accomplishment when they find something, but then it's just a sad story of what they found, So it's emotionally, very heavy burden to carry for these guys that go and do this.
One driver and engineer from Decatur who made the trip, Stephen Blakesley, went to help with rescues and emergency medical responses.
We all kind of understood what had to be done. We understood what, the outcome was probably going to be. The weather was super hot. The terrain was some of the roughest I've ever done. And, we were hiking miles every day, and no one once complained, because everyone wanted to, bring closure to that little girl's family.
In all, 40 search and rescue experts went to Texas in response to a request for more personnel. Those that went down saying they were just trying to help out. In Decatur, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The Alabama task forces were among 29 states that sent assistance to Texas. Blakesley and the other firefighters who made the trip saying they're glad to finally be back home with their families. And we're glad they're back too. Fox 54 is proud to be a part of ongoing recovery efforts for those impacted by the floods in Texas. You can scan the QR code on your screen and help by donating to our Tegna Texas Relief Fund. Your dollars go directly to flood victims who need help now.
And we send our appreciation to all of the Alabama first responders who helped with the difficult work in Texas following the catastrophic floods. Thank you for watching Fox 54's Week in Review. Count on Fox 54 Plus to bring you more great programming with in-depth local specials, locked on sports, true crime, cooking shows, wellness experts, and continuing weather coverage. For everyone at Fox 54 News, I'm Emily Owen. Have a fun and safe weekend.